As a fan of longwear foundation, today I am going to compare the new Nars Soft Matte foundation to the holy grail that is Estee Lauder Double Wear. Now, I have not compared these. I haven't even really taught much about, well, a tiny bit I've taught about how they compare to each other. But I'm going to do kind of off the cuff, talk you through what I think about both side by side, because I have to say both of these are sensational in their own right. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to use the Nars Soft Matte on this side. Okay, I've brought you in a little bit closer so you can see the skin and everything going on. Now, I have done a video on the Nars foundation itself, reviewing it on its own, but what I will say about this foundation is you only need a small bit, and I normally hate when people say that because I'm like, I always end up using a huge bit, but you only need a small bit. It has beautiful coverage. It is matte, but there isn't like a glow to it or anything like you would get with the sheer glow, but at the same time it isn't, I don't find it really flat on my skin. I absolutely love it. The longevity of this is like, it's unbelievable, like so good. Shade wise, stick with your own shade. I wear the shade Fiji when I've no tan, but I'm even at the point where I'm so pasty because I'm literally not even going out the door that Fiji is even like, it's not totally matching, so I do need to put on a tiny bit of tan for an L night out one. Yeah, remember them? I used to wear the shade Punjab, so I would stick to your normal shade. I would say Fiji is somewhere in and around a MAC NC20-ish. Okay, so that is the soft matte on there. As I said, there is a full review on this. I'm not bringing my foundation the whole way up because these are quite heavy foundations and they will settle underneath your eye, so I'll use my own concealer for that. Okay, I've given the brush a quick clean. I'm going to use the same brush and I'm going in with my double wear on this side. Sorry, my battery went dead and now I have half this bit done. So what I was saying is I wear the shade Desert Beige, and I wouldn't say it is a million miles off of the Nars Fiji. Very similar. This might be slightly warmer than this. Coverage wise, there is not much difference in them. I will say that this applies, Estee Lauder applies a good bit easier than the Nars. This is definitely a thicker consistency. It is definitely needs to be worked an awful lot faster with. You get away more with this. I'm just looking at my skin in the mirror, and what I'm noticing is, I think if you've any sort of texture or anything like that, I think Double Wear is going to be a little bit more forgiving than the Nars. Now the Nars, I say this and yet I absolutely adore the Nars, so keep that in mind. I would happily recommend either of these foundations and I think you will be happy, but I think it's good to see the difference in both of them. I'm going to put more makeup on and I'm going to come back and talk you through it. Okay, so I spent a bit of time doing my makeup because I really wanted the foundations to kind of settle into my skin, to see and really compare what I feel about them. And lads, it's like splitting hairs. They are so similar. So this has a little bit more of, I'm going to say a glow, but it's not a glow as such. This is a little bit more flatter. This being the Nars, this is the Estee Lauder. The Nars has a little bit more coverage than the Estee Lauder. I would say the Nars has a little bit more of a velvet finish, but if you've got, not skin issues, because I think if you've got like, you know, acne marking or scarring or anything like that, I think like it'll do a really good job of covering it up. I think this is probably a little bit more lighter feel, whereas this is definitely a little bit more like, this is a feel like it, but at the same time it doesn't feel heavy on my skin. I'm just comparing both of them. I don't know if I'm giving you much here, like I'm probably totally confusing you. Longevity wise, I actually think, I'm going to say it, I do think the Nars actually lasts a little bit better than the Estee Lauder, and we all know how amazing this is at lasting. So longevity, Nars wins, but like, I mean, they're both amazing. Coverage wise, Nars probably has it a little bit more, but again, both really good. So which one am I actually going to recommend? It's very hard to recommend any. So what I'm going to say is, Any of you that would be in the market for this have probably tried Double Wear and know that you like it. And if you like Double Wear, I think you're really going to like this as well. Like, I'd love to know in the comment section if that actually is the case. But I do think if you're a fan of a matte long wear foundation, the Nars is so worth a go. But true die-hard Double Wear fans are going to forever keep buying this. I hope that helped in some way. I know it wasn't a definitive one side or the other, but I just love both of them.